All righty. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Coffees and Conversations live beyond breathing beyond the diagnosis. I am everyone's favorite business development associate, Miss Leah Lawrence, coming to you from Superior Clinical Research. And first off, I just really want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone joining us here and spending part of your Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving with us. I know that food was good yesterday, and you probably want to go sleep off that itis, but thank you so much for being here. We are truly grateful for our LinkedIn and Facebook family who are streaming and watching now and who continue to show up and engage and support these very, very important conversations. And today we are closing out Lung Cancer Awareness Month with a conversation that matters, a conversation centered around real people, real stories, and real lived experiences. And I am super, super honored today to be joined by our very special guest, Miss Latasha Johnson. She is a lung cancer survivor, community advocate, and someone who has been using her voice to bring awareness and support and understanding to a disease that affects so many people. So, Miss Latasha, thank you. How are you
You're
doing today?
welcome. Thank you for having me. I am well today. I'm doing pretty good, like you said, after Thanksgiving. And yeah, the good food was good and everything, and the fellowship and then the being with the family was wonderful on yesterday. So I am
Yes.
good, and I thank you so much for your platform and for having me as a guest on here today. I'm excited and excited.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
before we jump in, I would love for you to be able to briefly introduce yourself of who you are, the work that you do, and anything that you would like for our audience to know before we dive in.
Okay, that's fine.
Mhm.
Okay, my name is Latasha. I am 53 years old, live out of Chicago, Illinois, the south suburbs of
Whoop,
Chicago.
whoop.
Woo woo. And so I was actually a hairdresser and a salon owner for 25 years. Um, and then I retired from that, and now I am been doing caregiving. I actually graduated in 2019 with my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So I was looking forward to jump in and get into some of the criminal the background in some type of criminal law or something I was planning, but life went elsewhere. And
Mhm.
so by the time I got myself together to do that, I was doing caretaking. Well, I still do caregiving. So for family members, my brother. And so in 2023, yes, 2 years now. In 2023, I have so a background on my medical. I had asthma. So, but I was never an asthmatic patient where I needed to be hospitalized. No times. Usually, I know how to control. It was under control.
Mhm.
So, in 2023, I was with my caretaker, and so that earlier that the last of the year of 2022, um, I kept having I'll say the whole year of 2022. I just pushed through because it was my 50th. And so I was excited about my party and turning 50. And so I was just praying, like, let me just get through this the best way that I can with not feeling the best.
Mhm.
So work wise, that's my work. That's what I do work wise. Those was my background. I have two children, two grown kids. I have three grandchildren. And so you have to excuse my voice. I definitely need this tea this morning because we hollered yesterday a lot. So I kind of lost my voice a little bit.
Mhm. It might be
So
some coffee and conversations, but we do tea as well. Go ahead.
yes, yes. So that's pretty much my background. I actually just got married.
Congratulations.
Yes, I just got married. So in this walk, things can still go forward in life, even in the challenges. I got a surprise engagement in August of 2020. Well, I better get these dates right. August 23rd. And then I got married on September 25th of this year. So
Aw.
it's always some exciting things going on, even in the downtown of life. We got to pull them out the best way we can.
Amen. Okay,
Yeah.
so Sasha, let's start at the beginning. And I
Okay.
know you said in 2022 What
Yes.
was that moment or experience that first made you realize something wasn't right with your
So
health, with your
yeah.
body?
So like I said, in 2022, I was
Mhm.
pushing through, doing a house project, um, pro- um, planning a party, just doing a lot. So even in my physical, I didn't feel all the way up to par, but I kept pushing. So like I said, initially, I have asthma. So I just really thought it was the weather change, the change of the weathers. But my doctor at that time, the clinic I was going to at the time, she kept telling me that my blood work was looking off to her. So she went on ahead and kept looking at the blood work. And so in December of that year, 2022, she gave me a chest X-ray. She put for a chest X-ray. When we did the chest X-ray and everything was fine. And so going forward, um, 2023, in February of 2023, I said, okay, everything is over with, all the excitement. Everything is over with. Let me really dive in and see what's going on. So I was at my client's house. Like I said, I was caretaking for him. I was at his house, and so I had told him, I said, well, I don't know, maybe I'll go to urgent care. And he was like, you've been saying this, baby girl, for a little bit. Why don't you go on and go? And I said, I don't know, okay. Because let's go back on my doctor. She had me an appointment on that Wednesday to go to see a hematologist.
Okay.
So at the time, I didn't know like hematologists had anything to do with cancer. I just know it was blood, so I just knew that part. And so I do have a background. Like my mom, she was diagnosed. She passed from cancer. Her mom passed. They had colon cancer. They passed from cancer on my dad's side. My maternal grandmother, she had um, breast cancer. So it ran in the family, but I never thought for me. So when February the 23rd came, I said, let me just go ahead and go to urgent care. And when I went to urgent care, the lady came in because at that point in January, not only did I have the shortness of breath that was back and forth, but then I had accumulated a cough.
Mhm.
So it was a cough that I really didn't even hear myself a lot. But other people, if I was talking on the phone, they'd be like, why are you coughing? I just was like, I have a cold. Or, didn't it wasn't nothing that just really like took me to say something I'm not right still. So by the time February came, it kind of it started irritating me a little bit then.
Mhm.
So I went in February the 23rd to urgent care and I told her my symptoms. She said, well, let's do a chest x-ray. I said, well, I just had one done in December. I can show you on my portal, but you can do another one because that was fine. And so she said, okay, we'll run it again. And so when she ran it, she came back and she said, you have a what is it called? Not a tumor.
Polyp.
Um, you gonna help me say it again?
The polyp.
No. Mm-mm. So on my X-ray, it showed we're just gonna say a tumor, but not a tumor, but it's called something else. Um, that was about a 5.6 millimeters. So I said, So I just took it as okay, that's the reason why I can't breathe, you know. And so she said, yeah, now I'm going to send you out for a CT scan so we can look a little
Mhm.
closer to it. And I said, okay, fine. And so that's what she did. And when she came back from the CT scan, it was me and one of my best friends up there with me, had came in with me. And so she came and she said, well, you're not going to go. We're going to admit you to take you straight to the hospital because it's not looking good. And so that's where we stopped at because that did something to me when she said that because it was never fear. I didn't have the fear in me. But when she said it wasn't looking good, the only thing that I can say out of my mouth was, but it is good in a respectful way. I
Okay.
said, it is good. I said, because I know God has me. I know I'm good.
Amen.
So it may not look good on them on that
On the
Put
screen, you
in
might
what
not
you
see it on
asked
the X-ray, but
on that X-ray, but we're gonna speak this thing in the right, correct words. I know that's maybe your medical term, but this is my spiritual term. It is well.
yes.
And
Okay.
so, and so that's when my journey began, February the 23rd, 2023.
Okay. Now, and keeping on to the next, and thank you so much for sharing that. And
Yes.
taking it on to the next pivotal moment, first when she said it wasn't looking good, but then when
Mhm.
you first heard the words lung cancer, what went through
Shocked.
you emotionally and mentally? Like, what was going on in your life at the time?
Shocked. I was shocked. And for me, it wasn't like, once again, I never came through this thing scared. Just
Hmm.
never did. But it wasn't because of me. It was because of him. I thank God for that. I thank God for him putting that in me, where as though he allowed me, you, this is not your battle, it's mine. I just need you to be a vessel. And um let me go with you, let you talk about me and who I am in your life, and you're gonna be fine. And so that's the only thing I knew, that I was gonna be okay. But when I heard the word lung cancer, it was shocking, because I'm like, something else, but not lung cancer. So let me say this. So before then, one of my best friends, she know how she's in the medical. So she had been looking at my blood work. And so she was like, Tasha, it looks like you may have sarcoidosis. Like, and I was like, I don't want sarcoidosis. I didn't want cancer either, but I'm like, and I
Oh,
don't even know enough about sarcoidosis. So why you even say it? But I knew I didn't want that. And so that's what I was saying. And so when it came back and said lung cancer, I was shocked, because we never had that in the guessing game. We never guessed that one at all. And then for me, it was more so because I never smoked. So people usually put cancer, lung cancer, with smoking. So that's the first thing that everybody said to me in the beginning. How you don't smoke? Well, that let's throw that out, because it doesn't make a difference if you smoke. A lot of people that smoke don't 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 get the disease, don't get lung cancer. So, but that's more of me now learning since I've been here, than for me to, because I was just like other people saying, stop smoking because you get lung cancer, or you get lung. So I was the same way. So now that is, I'm so disconnected from that, because mine is called non-small cell lung cancers, and it's for people that doesn't smoke.
mm, yes. And
So
see, that's the
yes,
thing that most people don't realize, because I was of the same opinion that if you
yes,
like, that's what happened when you smoke too much, then you get love, especially because of the commercials that happen, you know,
yes,
stop smoking commercials. And that really kind of does push the narrative. Like, that's,
yep,
to say it's the only way you're gonna get lung cancer, but it's kind of makes it, oh, like, as long as I'm a smoker, I won't get it. And then so it
yeah,
happens, and a diagnosis brings so much with it, seen and
yes,
unforeseen. So yes, most definitely.
yeah. So you can do your best. You can do your best living
Mm-hmm.
and try to do everything you can to avoid it, but it was not an avoidable state. It wasn't. It wasn't because of, because we even asked. I even asked. I said, could it have been because of during COVID, when my lungs get messed up because I had COVID?
Mm-hmm.
No. Could it be for because secondhand smoke? I was told no. So that was not my case. My case is because I had a mutation that
Mm.
connected to the cancer cell. So that was a lot of this I'm still feeding my information and trying to learn about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different mutations. I cannot tell you how many there are, but I know of a few. But mine is the EGFR mutation
Mm-hmm.
that's in my body that connected to the my lungs, and that's how it was. So it didn't make a difference because I didn't smoke. It was the mutation in my body that somehow went to the lungs, and that's how that began. So I thank God I think I had a couple of I think it was in my lymph nodes, but it didn't go nowhere else besides the lungs.
Thank God it didn't spread. Like, thank
Yeah,
God.
it didn't metastasize nowhere else. So
Yeah.
that's, I'm really grateful for that. I said, now God, Lord, I'm gonna do this now, but you got to do something.
That's one of those me and you, Lord. That's what
Yeah,
my grandmother, my mom always like during hard times. It's me and you, Lord.
it's me and you, Jesus. It's me and you. Well, please don't put too much on me. I can't bear it all now. I'm gonna try my best.
Make it a little bit more you, Lord.
Yeah. Yes. I said, okay, now, Lord Jesus. So yeah. So I was really more and initially actually though, when I just really allowed it to process,
Hmm.
it was the faces of my family that brings me to tears. Like I can cry now because that's what brings me to tears. It wasn't that I couldn't battle it. I just didn't want them to battle it, and I didn't want them to be so overwhelmed, or for their faith to just not look like mine's. So I
Hmm.
told them in the beginning. I said, I need y'all to get on board now because this thing is I can't hide it from you all, but I need you not to bring negative into my space. Because I gave them the talk. I said, because if this is where he gonna keep me, if this is where I'm at, I'm gonna be fine. And if I leave y'all, I'm gonna be fine. I'd never want you all to be so overwhelmingly stressed that think, that I lost or that why? Because I did that with my mom and I didn't want that for them. So
Hmm.
that was my biggest challenge for me. Not me, not leaving here and not even to have to deal with this. It was more so my family. That's where my heart was at.
And that leads me right. Ooh, that's so powerful. And that leads me right to my next question. Well, you kind of already answered it, but I would love for you to go deeper into it. How did this diagnosis and you shaping your boundaries of how you wanted everyone to support you, especially because you were used to being a caregiver to other
Yeah.
people, and now it's time for you to be the one to step in that role of being cared for.
Mhm.
How did that shift the way you saw life or your relationships or even yourself?
Well, honey, let me tell you something. I was y'all come on now. I'm tired now. Y'all do it all now. I was okay to be on the other side for them to care for me. I did not fight. I did not fight them or anything. I just was like, I'm okay. Y'all can care for me, in which they did. Everybody stepped up in a role that, and that is my biggest thing is to have um for people that don't have a community, don't have a family, don't have a background. My
Mhm.
heart bleeds for them, you know, because this is a lot. Mentally is a challenge. You're mentally challenged in a way that every time you go to a doctor, you gotta keep hearing what's new, what this test is gonna bring about, what
Mhm.
this may happen. So in the beginning, you gotta wait for a CT scan. Okay, now you they saying yes, but now you got to get a biopsy. So once you get a biopsy, now you got to find out if it's for sure. So for at least a month and a half, you're on a journey, like a whirlwind, like your mind is just twirling. Every time a phone ring, an email come in, every time you go to a doctor, is it going to be worse news? It's going to say something different. So as a family, they and my family and my friends, oh, I got some good sisters. I got they
Like
some beasts.
all
I
the
got
gifts.
some good sisters, baby. And these are sisters that we have sisters that was not biologically connected.
Mhm.
So it's just more so like when I tell you my fiance at the time, like I never did anything like doctor's appointment, and I'm a driver, so that's what I do now. I drive, so I've
Mhm.
always been a driver. So they knew I'm like, let's go, because in the beginning it was just like, now I got the information, but I wasn't weak. So they like, but I never went to a doctor's appointment by myself.
Okay.
I didn't have to worry about. I was getting like, don't worry about working. I was getting money put in my accounts. I was getting food brought to my house from my brother who I care for. They told me they didn't want me to worry about him. They took care of him. They took care of everything, and it's so important. But overall, even if they didn't, God made a way. He took care of me. I never went. I never had those like moments. And then let me say this. And I don't want to be on this platform to say this is my story, but I know other people don't have the same
Mhm.
story. And sometimes, it's like for me to have this conversation, I'm like, it's just me. And I pray that anybody can I can get better in some areas, and I pray other people can too, you
Yeah.
know. But it's the fact of the fear and the worry. When we can get that out of us, we can go far. We can
Mm-hmm.
do big things. We can actually see the light. We can actually see tomorrow or next year. Because if at one time it was so foggy for me, I kept saying, Lord, could you please allow me to see what tomorrow looks like, what next year looks like? Because I was used to planning trips and doing things. I couldn't do it because it was so great for me.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for being so open. And also, honestly, community does make a difference. Like what
It
you were saying about
does.
those sisters make a difference.
Difference.
I have me, my group, my quad squad, I like to
That's
call it.
right.
Ooh,
What your
I don't
what is it called?
my quad squad, it's four of us. We all
Okay.
met in college at Clark, Atlanta, and
All right.
it's been us rocking ever since. I already know these girls will be the future godmothers of my kids. Like,
Yes, yes.
there's like even my grandmother, she has a group of friends, and sad to say, but like it's so kind of empowering in a way. But they've
Yeah.
all still lasted through each and all of their husbands going on. Like they're all widows now, but they still
Oh,
like they were there for each and every single one. They were there for
yes.
they go on these trips on a daily basis.
Oh
Like if
God.
they have a birthday or this one has this, they're all still
It
there.
makes a difference.
And it was like in the beginning, before they had their husbands, while all of them had husbands and went on
Yes.
families and built their career, and then even on after, they're still this amazing group of like five gorgeous older black ladies. And I just feel like, oh,
Yeah.
and also like my aunt went through cancer, and then they were there for her, and then they were there for all the other sicknesses and everything. And that really does make a difference
It
in
does.
your life. Oh, we
It
have
does.
two comments. Maya Hicks said, "Wow, this is one of my quad squads right here." She
Hi,
said, "Wow,
Maya.
powerful testimony. If you have lungs, you can have lung cancer." So yes,
Yes.
this is
Yes.
our doctor.
Yes. Yes. Oh, hi, Maya. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So I do want to keep on with the topic of community. So what do you wish people, especially people in black and brown community, people of color, understand about lung cancer risks and symptoms that you wish somebody kind of would have told you beforehand, especially
So
because of
this.
asthma and all of that stuff?
So yes. So this is here. This is the thing in our community. I kept saying, like, I would see on the commercials, like, breast cancer, lung cancer is the worst leading disease. And I kept saying, how, and I'm like, I don't know, but yes, it is. Why? Because we don't have so colon cancer, you get colonoscopy.
Mm-hmm.
Breast cancer, you get mammograms. You
Mm-hmm.
have testings. They don't have it for lung cancer. So this is the thing. We don't know, and the doctors never asked us to get a test. It, this was the part that blew me so out the water.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that I watched pretty much who had lung cancer, they were already at a stage 4 when they got it. Non-small cell lung cancers, because you do not know. There's nothing that they're advocating. There's nothing that they're telling you that you need at the age 30. We need to test you. This is the part that I'm still like, I'm going to these summits. I'm just jumping out here because my oncologist pushing me out here. He like, I need you to get out there. I need you to get out and talk. This your color skin don't normally have this EGFR mutation. It's really in Asian women.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm different. So I just went to a summit and I was like really the only one there with at an EGFR mutation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, is it somebody else out there? Please let me know where you at and who you are and how you're dealing with it, because you don't see it. So so I just, for the community and for us, we have to ask these questions. You know, how do I get tested to see? Because I know somebody who had it. This is what you now the knowing me, like, because I'm telling you, you don't know. I've met so many people that, well, not so many, but I have met a lot of group of women now that have had lung cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason, the findings of it, it comes with the cough. But then they will misdiagnose you so much because they think it's asthma, pneumonia, the flu, um, anything but lung cancer. So when you get to it, when I first was diagnosed, I was at a 3A. That was in February. By the time January of this year, it took me to a 4 because it was a little bitty spot in the opposite lung. I told my oncologist, now you know that ain't no real spot, but that's okay. I'm gonna let you go do your thing. But that's the part about it. Like for my kids now, like you all need to. This is something now we gotta look into because I don't know where this came from
Mm-hmm.
and how can it have been avoided. That's the part it should be avoided. It should be what are we doing to make people not allow people to get to this place because we don't smoke. We're
Mm-hmm.
not tested. And then when we get tested, we are already in full blown, we in it. It's like we need a plan. What you mean? My plan was not to smoke, so I didn't have to have this plan. What are you saying?
I followed
So
that plan.
yeah, I followed the plan. I followed what y'all say. Don't smoke. It's not good for da. So no, but
Mm-hmm.
now, no. So I would tell anybody when you get I don't know because I have met a young lady. She was only in her 20s, and it's a mass. That's what I was. It wasn't a tumor. It was a mass that they found on my lungs.
Okay, a mass.
The mass.
Uh-huh.
And when this young lady, I watched her on here. Her mass was 15 pounds. She was only in her 20s.
Hmm.
I think she'd have had the biggest mass ever. I had to keep looking at her story. I was blew away. But she was in her 20s. Most people, doctors. I have met 2 doctors. I just met a lady the other day. She was a nurse. They had no clue. They in the field and still didn't have no clue. And when they come in, it's either 4 or it metastasized somewhere else. Terrible. We got
Jesus.
to do better in that area.
More awareness, definitely.
Yes.
More clinical research studies,
Yes.
definitely. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay. And it blew my mind. 15 pounds. Ooh,
Yeah.
Lord. And okay, and while we're still on this topic of moral awareness and things of that nature, what is one misconception? I know we've already talked like if you smoke, you're going to get lung cancer, and then you had that plan and you followed it and still, became lung cancer. But what's one other misconception about lung cancer that you would want to clear up like once and for all? Like, please don't ever say this ever again.
Well, you said it. The one thing I would say, please don't say, because you don't smoke, you won't get lung cancer. That is like the number one thing. Please don't say it because it's not true. It's just not a true statement. So that's the biggest thing I could say because other than that, it's like yeah, that's the biggest thing wrapped around non-small cell lung cancer. Let me
Mm,
say that. So I got to keep it's non-small cell lung cancer. I have to stay there because if we all have a mutation in our body. So if that mutation hits that lung area, then there you go. So for non-small cell lung cancers, never say don't smoke. You won't get lung cancer.
And it's
That's
more
not.
than one lung cancer. And see, I was a person who always thought like it was just one source of type of
Yeah,
thing.
me
I
too.
didn't know it was
Me
something.
too.
So I didn't even know it was like different subcabbats, and I guess that can be something like it's not just a one size fits all. Everyone has the same
No, no,
of
no.
cancer. It's different types.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are yes. Yes. It's that yeah. So yeah, it's lung cancer and it's non-small cell lung cancers.
Yes. Yes. Very
Lung
important.
cancer is for ones that smoke. I'm assuming. That's what I believe. I know. And non-small cell lung cancer is for people that do not smoke. But
Yeah.
in the non-small cell lung cancer, that does not mean you have to have a mutation. Some people have non-small cell lung cancer that do not have a mutation.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Amen. An important point, y'all. Remember that. Okay. And as someone who was a caregiver and as someone who had to get in the position of being cared for, as someone who has had to go through both sides of it, what advice would you give to families and friends to better support someone going through this who might just like have no idea what to do? And sometimes they overcompensate because they don't know what to do, or then they underdo it because they're like, oh no, she's fine, she's strong, she got this. So what's like a good thing that families should do?
So we all deal with things, trauma. We all deal differently. Some people like people around, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some people do not like to feel like they need, because they always, like you said, they always been the one to do. So they don't know how to receive.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I could tell anybody in my family and is learn how to pray. That's the one thing you can do when your presence is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer work. Learn how to pray and get in that arena with him to allow him to show you how to help them. Because sometimes we don't know how to help. And sometimes we can overdo, like you said, and sometimes we underdo. So how can I and let them know, let them lead you, the person that's in that seat. Let them lead you. Listen to them. Do not stress them. If you feel like your presence is stressing them, just remove yourself. Because
Mm-hmm.
one thing my doctor told me, and I used that, I said, give it to me. Give me that. Give me that again. He said, I need you to be stress free. I said, oh, you ain't talking to nobody. You said what you're saying, baby. I know how to do it. So every time I be like, yeah, I know I can't be stressed. They be
Mm,
like, come on, you gonna keep using this. Hello, you know I can't be stressed. So use what, if you can, you ask them. If they allow you to go to doctor's appointment with them, allow them to be there. L- Make sure you let them know that my phone is always on.
mm.
If you having one of them nights and you just cannot, I always had somebody that I can call. Everybody wasn't gonna be up for me, up, but I had that one that I knew I could call that one. So you utilize what you got in your community and your circle, and don't push them all to do the same things that they cannot do. Give the ones that they can do what they can do, and you be available to just do it. Just allow them to lead you. Love on them, love on them, love on them.
Yes, yes, yes. And then same question for your medical team, like your doctor, or if you're going to in a clinical research space or whatever that is, how would you feel like that could be bedside manner, things of that nature, and carrying you through the process? How is that for you?
Oh man, picking your oncologist or having the right team is a plus. It's
Hmm.
everything. I am so grateful for my team. I love them. When I tell you I love them, like that's my family. I told my doctor all the time, I said, I had to go through this just so I can meet you, huh? We couldn't meet no other kind of way. But you family now. I love them. I pray for him like I prayed for everybody else because he's part of my life. So, so with that being said, it's important to have the right team. That makes a big difference. That's like a big percentage of you healing.
Hmm.
That's a big percentage of you knowing I'm going to be okay. I told my oncologist in the door, I said, please do not come in here with your head hanging down with a sad note. Even if it don't look good, it is good. I'm gonna tell you like I told. I said, so you all studying the body. He
Hmm.
created the body. So therefore I know it's all well. So I said, so whatever you do, you don't have to do it in a manner that how you do your other people that may need you to
Yeah.
be there. I just want you to be open, willing, and knowing that I'm okay with the conversation that we have concerning my body and my treatments and going forward. You know, but I have a sister that just was diagnosed within 2 months, and in hers is breast that metastasized to the brain already. But her team don't like. I'm like, no, she's just not here with me. She's in California, but I'm going back and forth because you got to get out of that. This is not good. They're not about your need. They're allowing these things to go as if
Mm-hmm.
they don't. It's just like you don't have any hope. Like they're not. It's not a team. It's just like go over here, go here. Like that ain't gonna work. So I'm like, if I had to go through this, so we always have to think, why did I have to go through this? If I had to go through this to help my sister, that's what I had to go through.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
advocate for her now,
To
to
pass
be
on.
what she need from me now. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. And that's love. That's right there.
Yeah,
Love. That's the community. That's how it should be.
it
Because
is.
support really does make all of the difference.
Yes.
And that kind of leads me to a more reflective question. If you could tell your pre-diagnosed self anything, what would it be?
Mm. Oh man, what would it have done if my pre-diagnosed self? Um, ooh, that one is kind of hard for me because once again, I thought I did right. I went to the doctor, um, because I lived. Like I said, it wasn't like I'm just starting to live, baby. I've been living.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't even say then. I can't say I waited till I was diagnosed to live. No, I can't even wait to say because I didn't change my eating habits because of this. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do none of that. I'm going to always continue to live. The only thing I will say, and I can't say that because I wasn't given this information to know,
Mm-hmm.
because I can't even say that I should have got tested earlier. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the reason why the people that are listening to us, and it's on to they can know. Now, if they say, if they something happened and they say, I didn't know, yes, you did, because we just telling you that. See, for me, I never knew.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew. So, yeah,
Okay.
I
And
don't know
as
what I would do. Huh?
And I said, and as we close out Lung Cancer Month, what
Yes.
gives you hope today? And what do you want others who are like watching to take away from this story? To really like resonate. And my grandmother always like to say, let it sizzle in your spirit. What do you really want them to like let it really sizzle up in there?
Well, this is the part I can sizzle. I can tell you, this does not have to kill you.
mm,
You have to get in your mind to know, but that's what anything that we do. It may not be cancer. It could be anything. We all gonna go through something. And
mm-hmm,
that was the first scripture that he gave me. He said, many will be afflicted, but I will deliver you from it all. That was the one thing that took me and I hung on it. I said, you said you was gonna deliver me. So with this lung cancer month, I will tell you, if you're listening to us, find a way. If you are in your 20s, your 30s, and you go to a doctor and you have a doctor, primary care, start talking to them about this. Because this is a disease, this is an area for non small cell lung cancer that you just do not know. You get out there and maybe you can educate your primary doctor and let them know what is it that I can get done so I don't have to be in the seat of others. What is this? What is the screening for this? How could you screen me? What is it that would I don't want my blood work to be funky. And then now I'm here. How can we do a pre-screening? What is it that we can do to I'm not saying just because it's not even in my background. It's not that my family come from it, not from lung cancer. I am the first person in my family that I know that had lung cancer.
mm-hmm,
So this is what I'll tell people. Try to find out from your doctors when they start talking to you about getting mammograms. Could you talk to me about screenings for
mm-hmm,
lung cancer? When they start telling you, do you have have you ever had a colonoscopy? Start introducing this because prostate, it's screenings for so many things, but not this.
mm-hmm.
So this is what I'll tell you for this year to close out. Just be aware that it can happen, and you don't have to smoke.
Yes.
You will
Yes.
have to go through the same thing anybody else: chemo, radiation, surgeries, pork putting in. So these are things that you see on TV with people that you say, oh yeah, that ain't gonna happen because I don't smoke. They they put the whole thing. If you smoke, your voice, vocal, all this. Yeah, yeah, it's a commercial, but it don't show this.
Mhm. And we have a little bit of information in the comment section. We had a
Okay.
question from Neva Wilson. She said, should people get screened for lung cancer even if they don't have symptoms? And of course, my good friend Maya, she's in Morehouse School of Medicine. She answered the question, Neva Wilson, yes, people should get screened for lung cancer even if they don't have symptoms. If they're
Yep.
high risk, lung cancer usually doesn't show symptoms until it's more advanced, as we've talked about here in the chat. So screening helps us catch it early.
Yes.
When treatment works best, who qualifies, ages 50 to 80, and 20-pack year smoking history, current smokers, or who've quit within the past 15 years. If that's you, a yearly low dose of CT scan can literally save your life. And then Neva asked Maya again about how about the case when non-smokers should they still get screened if someone in the family
Yes.
has history? And my reply back, Neva Wilson, if you're a non-smoker, routine lung cancer screening isn't recommended, even with a family history. Right
Yep.
now, the official guidelines only recommend yearly screening for people who are 50 to 80 and with a 20 plus pack year smoking history. But here's the important part: having a family history can increase your risk. So even though screening isn't routinely offered, it is still a good idea. And tell your doctor about your family history and watch out for persistent symptoms. Yes, 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 yes. And also just
Thank
have
you.
a conversation. No
Yeah.
one else knows your body better
But
than
you.
you do.
That's
So if
right.
you feel like something ain't right and that is sizzled in your spirit enough, hey, the
Sizzle.
doctor is there to help you. I know sometimes, a lot of times, we might get in the head, like sometimes it might be a dumb question, or sometimes I shouldn't bother the
That
doctor.
is done.
They are there in service to you. And
Yeah.
if you feel like you're not, then we're going to get you another doctor. But
That's right.
the point of you coming in and paying your copay, you paying your insurance and all of that good stuff, to make sure that when you walk out the door, your questions are answered, you feel comfortable, you feel confident, and you feel supported in each and every sense of
Yes.
the word. All right, Miss Latasha, before we close out, thank you so much for your amazing story. Thank you for
Thank you.
everything that you have shared with us today. It has been a well message. We ate some food and got full yesterday, and now we got a whole bunch of wealth of information and some good stuff. I'm feeling full again. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
good weekend.
Yes.
So before we close out, I just want to end it with a quick hot seat segment I like to do with some guests, where I'm throw out some words and this or that choices, and just the first thing that comes to your mind, no overthinking, and then you
Oh
go,
God.
okay? So
Okay.
first things
Let's go.
first, be easy. Coffee or tea? I probably already know the answer.
It's coffee.
Coffee. Oh, I am a coffee girl too. I'm an
Yes.
espresso, all that good stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Starbucks ain't see me coming.
Okay.
Early detection or early prevention?
Say it again.
Early detection or early prevention?
I'm gonna say early detection.
All right.
Mhm.
Advocacy or awareness?
Both. Can
All
I
right.
get both?
Yep.
Okay.
We can take both. We take both
Okay.
up. Cold weather or warm weather?
Cold. Cold weather.
Okay. Comfort show or comfort music?
Music.
Okay, okay, okay. And since it's the day after Thanksgiving, are you a turkey or you a ham kind of girl?
Ham.
Okay, okay. I'm a turkey myself.
Ham.
Ham. All right, all right. Now, do you like a little honey ham? Do you put the little pineapple on top of it?
Uh-huh. That one
Okay.
right there. Yes,
All
that
right.
right there.
And strength or resilience? Sasha. Oh, dang it. We're almost there, almost there. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Last question. Strength
I hear
or
you again.
we don't see you, but it's okay. We finna close out real soon. Your camera just went off for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing, but it's
Okay.
strength for me.
All right. Amen. Amen. Perfect. Love those answers. Mr. Sasha, thank you so much for sharing your
Thank
honesty
you all.
and your strength and your lived experiences with all of us today. Your story really does remind us why these conversations matter because awareness matters. It is important, but understanding is what truly changes lives. To everyone watching and joining with us on Facebook and LinkedIn, thank you so much for joining us on the day after Thanksgiving on this Black Friday. Superior Clinical Research is incredibly grateful for this community, for your
Yes.
support, for your engagement, as well as your willingness to learn alongside us. We are all in a space of learning. You can never learn too much, and it's never a whole
Yes.
cap or a peak or a ceiling above us. We always want to learn and strive for more so we can help people. Okay. And that's what makes these coffees and conversations so meaningful. So I hope today's conversation encourages you to check in on your health, check in on your brother, your sister, your neighbor, and support those around you and continue to advocate for information and access, and as well as equity in healthcare. All right. Until next time, enjoy your weekend, stay well, and thank you to everyone for being a part of the Superior family. Thank you to everyone who was in the comments and rocking with us. Thank you so much to Miss Latasha Johnson. Bye, guys.